This is Biker Dad, brought to you by Whittle and Melton. I left my 25-year career in corporate America to ride motorcycles and tell stories. And this time, that adventure brings us here to the southernmost point in the United States of America. We are in beautiful Key West, Florida, at the southernmost point and mile marker 0 of US 1, a highway that runs from here all the way up to Maine, more than 2,300 miles, and it all starts right here. It all starts with a bunch of smiles. See all these people lined up just to get a picture right here at the southernmost point. On this episode, why Key West loves its cocks. Why did the chicken cross the road? How books, booze, and six-toed cats put this little island on the map. And why getting around the Keys is just so much better behind bars. Warning, this episode is clothing optional, so let's roll. Have you ever sat at your job and thought, what if I just got up and left? Tell that horrible boss to take this job and shove it. Have you ever wanted to just walk out? What about burnout? Well, that's exactly what I did, but I didn't just quit. I left my 25-year corporate career to ride motorcycles and tell your story. Daytona Beach, Florida, where you can actually drive onto the beach. Rick Fairless, a legend of his own, introduced me to Richard Rollins, Mayfield, Kentucky, Southeast Missouri, beautiful city of Knoxville, Tennessee, Gulf Coast of Mississippi, Florida coast in the Tampa Bay area, Orange County Choppers, Roadhouse and Museum, talking to Paul Tuttle Sr. himself. But make no mistake, this is not a show about motorcycles or even about me. Instead, I travel across the country to meet the people who use their passion for motorcycles to make their communities stronger, safer, and better. This is Biker Dad. Key West is the southernmost point in the continental United States, only 90 miles away from Cuba. You'd think it would be scorching hot, but because of the sea winds and the lack of huge city buildings, it's actually quite mild all year round, hovering in the 70s and 80s. Just a beautiful place to hang out and to ride any time of the year.
Hi, my name's Aaron. I'm a trolley conductor in Key West, Florida.
Location of Sloppy Joe's Bar.
The laid-back style of any Caribbean island gets people excited to leave the mainland, kind of leave their button-down lives behind.
Key West was developed way before cars were around, so it's not a very car-friendly place. There just isn't a lot of parking, and the roads are very narrow, but it is very motorcycle friendly, whether you're riding a moped or a big old Harley.
Duval Street can be lined up with motorbikes. It can be block to block, just full of motorbikes parked side by side as they can be.
I come from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Tony Bergeron, French Canadian.
My name is Bill Connor. I'm from Monroe, Michigan.
We're staying in Fort Myers for the winter.
Okay.
So we come down here one time a year.
Yeah, the ride is why we come down to Key West. But I was a lineman in my career. I spent 26 winters in Michigan, and when I retired, it was my goal to never spend another winter in Michigan. So that's why I'm down in Florida. Well, it's a beautiful day. It's nice and windy.
The ride is beautiful. The road, they are amazing.
Snowbirds flock all winter long from the northern states to the southernmost point in the United States, many of them stopping just to take a picture of this buoy that sits 90 miles from Cuba, and also to see mile marker 0 of US 1 highway, which runs from here in Key West at mile marker 0, 2,000 miles all the way to Maine.
It's the paradise.
Bill from Buffalo, dude. We're here to have fun, party, first time here. Having a great time, love the sunshine, love the warmth. Come from a colder climate. I left and got on a plane and it was 38 degrees and we got here and it was 79.
I love it. This is my 5th time in Key West and it's a place I always want to come back to. So much charm. It's good for the soul. It gives you peace of mind. Stay in the present. It's awesome.
There are all kinds of snowbirds, but there's also another kind of bird. There are chickens just everywhere all over Key West. In fact, if you run over one with your car or even your motorcycle, it's a $500 fine. We wanted to know what all of these chickens were all about.
Chickens. There used to be a gambling practice down here of cockfighting. When it became illegal to gamble, folks didn't seem to value the chickens for their meat or their eggs. They just let them go in the street.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Where all the chickens are protected by law. There's a fine, so don't do it.
So there seems to be like a little bit of a love-hate relationship with the chickens. It's
A lot
kind
of
of
people hate
cool.
them. A lot of people hate them, and a lot of people love them. I actually love them, but don't tell the chickens that.
One of the places I just had to visit while I was here in Key West is the home of Ernest Hemingway. So why is a biker show visiting the home of an author? Well, he may not have been a biker, but he was a rebel. He was a risk taker. He was a lover, and he had an independent streak wider than this entire island, and that makes him a biker at heart in my book. When the Hemingways bought this house in the 1930s, it was in foreclosure and in disrepair. They restored the home room by room and added onto it a bunch too. But one of the most interesting things about this house is all of the cats. Hemingway brought a 6-toed cat home from a ship's captain back in the 1930s, and today at least 60 cats, also with 6 toes, live in the mansion. It's believed most of the cats on the small island are all related. I ran into some Harley riders from Oklahoma who made the trip down the Keys on their motorcycles, part of the reason to see the Hemingway home.
Sonny DeGraw.
Susan DeGraw.
That's where Jinx, Oklahoma, right outside of Tulsa. Jeff Green from Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's just a cool place to go visit. You know, history, you know, everything. If you're going to come here, you know, you need to stop at the house. The house is just gorgeous. And all the little houses around it, you know, are just gorgeous. So, yeah, it's a must. It's one of the top things to do here.
So he wasn't a biker, but he sure seemed like one, don't you think?
We have a small connection at home too. So one of my daughters had a polydactyl cat, so it's kind of cool. I'm having to try to chase the cats around, take a picture for her.
Different. He is different. Bikers are probably different, so you know. But not everybody likes biking, and not everybody likes the things he likes. So.
He's artsy, man. You know, his head's in a different place.
Hemingway is said to have loved the location because it was right next to the lighthouse and he could easily find his way home after a day of drinking at his favorite bar, Sloppy Joe's.
Joe's Bar, but Sloppy Joe Russell is a real person. He's one of Hemingway's pals here in Key West. Joe Russell was a smuggler and a rum runner. Who better to introduce Papa to Cuba and the Bahamas? Joe never owned that bar. He had a landlord, and the landlord raised the rent. Joe raised the roof. They tore sinks off the wall. They ripped urinals out of the floor. No one remembers why. One of the urinals ended up right there at the base of that fountain where that water collects. That is a 1930 style urinal. That's the top on the left. It's just laying on its side. This guy with Spanish tile. Hemingway said, I passed a fortune through that urinal. I'm keeping it. If you want to drink at the original Sloppy Joe's, you have to go to Captain Tony's Saloon on Green Street. That's where it was.
But just like most road trips for bikers, the best part is getting here.
We actually rented bikes in Miami this time, and then rode down here. Oh God, it's great. Love it. You know, couldn't ask for better. Beautiful weather.
Weather's awesome right now this time of year, so it's not too hot. We rode down on Street Glides, the touring package on. Weather was great, roads were great, atmosphere is amazing. Get these nice cool breezes, you know, when you go across the bridges. 7 Mile, that was a trip, you know. That's kind of a bucket list for a lot of bike riders. Sunset Beach too. You gotta go watch the sun go down. You know, that's another biker bucket list. Sitting on the pier watching the sun go down. Pretty cool.
I think it's beautiful down here, and I'm a beach person, so wonderful beach.
Jump on the ride down here and enjoy it.
Probably one of the most interesting things in Key West is right here, Garden of Eden. You can read the sign for yourself, but cameras aren't allowed, but I'm gonna go check it out anyway. You can't really unsee that. One thing about clothing optional places is most of the people who actually take their clothes off, you don't want to see it. So we're done with that. This is Biker Dad, brought to you by Whittle and Melton.
Did you know that the largest class action in the United States history probably just started here in August of 2022? In Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, they discovered that the water was so toxic, so contaminated, it was causing people to die, get cancer, all sorts of horrible conditions because of their water. And for a period of time, the government knew about it and didn't tell people. So if you know anybody associated with that base for any amount of time, either they lived there or they worked there, or of course if they were in service as well, call us. We want to help you. Time is very limited. Thank you so much.
Hi there, this is Chris Best, the Biker Dad. I'm just here to let you know that myself and the hundreds of thousands of people who follow us on social media and watch the TV show are here to help. Do you need help with something? Give me a call. That's my number right there, 251-402-6392. Especially if you need legal help, I have an army of lawyers across the country who can help you with injuries after motorcycle crashes especially, but other stuff like crime and everything else too. So give me a call, 251-402-6392. Biker Dad is brought to you in Gainesville by Whittle and Melton.
Hey everybody, April Violet here, Miss Heels on Wheels from Knoxville, Tennessee, and you're watching Biker Dad TV.
Now here's the Biker Dad Bike of the Week. This week's Bike of the Week is bad and black, and that's one of the things that's new about the 2022 Pan America, correct? This is Steve with Harley Davidson here to tell us about the Bike of the Week.
Yeah, so this is a 22 Pan America Special. It's got all the options on it from Harley. Spoke wheels, variable ride height adjustment, and it is completely blacked out. It's an electronic suspension system, right, that'll change depending on the ride mode that you're in, because the Pan America has a bunch of different pre-programmed ride modes, as well as some custom ride modes that you yourself can create inside of the infotainment system that it does have.
And I will tell you, it handles really well off-road, right?
Yep.
So it has the chain because you're going to take it off-road, and chains are more reliable and off-road.
Not going to break under stress.
Steve mentioned the spoke wheels. These are new down here. Tell us a little bit more about those.
So they are a tubeless spoke, so all the spokes are actually going to end right here on the outer rim band, and it makes it so that you can easily plug a tire if you need to on the side of the road, and the center stand helps it get off the ground high enough to actually do that.
Which makes a lot of sense. Go ride this thing, and then tell me after you ride it, it's not one of the funnest things you've ever done, right? You've owned how many Harleys?
I love it. This is one of the fastest motorcycles that I've ever ridden that's made by Harley-Davidson. And the ability to go through your different ride modes is a lot of fun. I mean, you just hit it on a spot. And it's got all the throttle you could ever need.
Yeah, I've ridden a bunch of these and ride them whenever I get a chance to. It's a fantastic bike, and you will fall in love with it when you ride it. And I especially loved the blackout. With a little bit of the copper touch, I can tell that you actually ordered this one.
Yeah.
Come on down, ride the Pan America, you'll love it. And if you come and ask for the bike of the week, especially if you hit up Steve, you will get a free Biker Dad sticker. Our Back on Two stories are brought to you by Whittle and Melton.
Rick Jackson, Portland, New York. There's a lot of really good roads, and there's a lot of nice country around here. There's definitely a lot of good riding around here. Stay out of the cities, stay on the country roads, and it's great. The scenery, just, you know, the curvy roads, it's beautiful around here. Just having a really good day, and a guy pulled out with his truck right in front of me. I was third from last person out of 70 some odd motorcycles. And kind of ruined my day. They thought I was done. You know, they give me a blood transfusion as soon as I got to Upstate Hospital. They helicoptered me there, basically telling them there's no way I was going to make it.
What happened there?
I hit my head on the roof of the truck.
You still got a knot 5 years later?
Yeah.
Wow. What do you say about working?
Yeah, the doctors told me I'd never work again. I told the doctors both I went back to work. I was working for 7 months. Awesome. I couldn't walk for 6 months. I told the doctor, I says, I want an appointment in a month. I said, what for? I says, because you're going to send me back to work. He says, all right, I guess. He thought I was a nutcase. Riding motorcycles, it's always been it's always been me. You know, everybody's like, you can get back on a motorcycle? I'm like, yeah, as soon as I can get, I get my dead leg over my bike, I'll be back on. There's a reason why I'm here, you know. I don't know if I really know quite what it is, but I think I do.
Hey, this is Paul Senior, and you're watching Biker Dad TV.
Allie, I have some bad news for you. After more than 20 years of marriage, I figured out that your mother doesn't love me. 22 years.
All I said is you can't have another motorcycle.
Well, that's pretty much the same thing. My name is Chris Best, and I left my 25-year career to ride motorcycles and tell stories. And now I'd like to invite you to come along for the ride. You can watch my new show, Biker Dad TV, right here every week. Watch Biker Dad Sundays at 11:30 on ABC 20 WCJB, brought to you by Whittle and Melton.
In Florida, motorcycles are very popular. This is one of the few states in the country, it's probably one of maybe 3 or 4 states where you can ride a bike 12 months out of the year. We have a lot of folks from out of state come here for recreational use, and there's just a lot of bikes on the road. We also have a lot of trucks and a lot of cars, and everybody who knows who rides a bike, the reason why bikers get injured, it's usually almost never the bikers. It's the other cars. It's the kid playing on their phone, okay? It's the guys in trucks making deliveries, trying to pinch time. And it's a very difficult state to ride safely in. And we have a lot of experience in representing bikers. I was recently named top 20 biker injury lawyer in the country. And these cases really require lawyers who have experience dealing with this stuff. And I would just ask anybody, if you know someone who's been in a bike accident, have them call us. There's a lot of things we can do.
It might sound crazy when I say I left my six-figure job to ride motorcycles and tell stories, but guess what? It's working out really well. I'm living my dream. And you know what? You can do the same thing. Several of my sponsors across the country are looking for people who do what I do, but do it in their area. And guess what? If you go to work for them, you'll be on the Biker Dad Show too, as my correspondent in that town. So if you have a good on-air presence, probably better than mine, you know how to tell visual stories, shoot video, and edit, then this might be the job for you. These are well-paying jobs. We're especially looking for people in the Tampa Bay area and Missouri, anywhere in Missouri. So just go to tvbikerdad.com. Any of my socials, just hit me up, send me your resume, send me your tape, send me your YouTube channel, and we will connect you with these sponsors. Believe me, it's an awesome life to ride a motorcycle and tell stories for a living. It's what we do every day here at Biker Dad, and you can too. Just hit me up, let me know what you got, and we'll see you on the Biker Dad Show someday. Ride to eat, eat to live, live to ride. There's an old saying among bikers. It says, teach a man to fish and you'll feed him for a day. Teach him how to ride a motorcycle and he'll ride 200 miles to eat fish. And this is one of the places that they'll definitely ride 200 miles for. Bob's Downtown Diner in downtown Mobile, Alabama.
Hi, my name's Tony Sawyer. I'm proprietor here, Bob's Downtown Restaurant, Mobile, Alabama.
It's a little sweet cream. And that's our pretty French toast.
So I own a 2017 Street Glide. Her name's OBB. And she's been pimped out a little bit, so yeah, I enjoy riding. I ride for the freedom. I ride now because I can. I'm finally at an age where I can afford a Harley Davidson, I can afford to ride. But you know, they go together like cheese and crackers. You know, you ride, you're going to get worn out, you're going to get thirsty, you're going to get hungry. A lot of people make a destination rides, i.e. for lunch or breakfast, and then go do their ride, or in the middle of their ride they stop and get something to eat, and they want to do stop someplace where they feel comfortable, and that's what we want them to do, is feel comfortable when they come down here.
Statements on our plate, and then our berries just go over the top.
Hi, I'm Brian Stumpbergen out of the Punishers LEMC out of Geneva, Indiana.
And I am Jennifer Bunkenbergen, and I am from the Circle City Guardian Bells out of Indiana.
We actually put it on our all page for the Punishers, our Facebook page, and one of the local guys said, hey, you've got to go down to Bob's Diner. So I just brought it up in the GPS and we came here, and that was it.
My name is Jennifer. I had the Jen's BLT. All right. It was good.
I actually had the Bob's Burger with cheese and bacon. Awesome burger, nice little char on it. So
here at Bob's, what we do is we do breakfast all day. It's Americana foods, things that you grew up eating when you were a kid, or you know, in the mid 2000s, foodies, food became very creative, and even before then. But now it's kind of, I feel like it's gotten out of control and out of hand, and you know, I want people to come back to, you know, our childhood days, or my childhood days, of what the food that I grew up eating, and I really enjoy it. It's good food, you know, it's diner food, if you will, here from the South. Here at Bob's, you can find us on Facebook at Bob's Downtown Diner. My website address is cornerfatandhappy.com. Kind of hopefully one of these days they'll change the street name here to Fat Street and Happy Avenue, because you know, I want people, when they leave out of here, to feel happy, you know, feel full, fat. You know, when you eat a good meal and you rub your belly and you go, oh man, that was really good. You know, you feel fat, that's that fullness, and then now you're happy. So fat and happy kind of goes together like, you know, vodka and sweet tea.
Now, this week's Biker Dad Tech Tip. Biker Dad Tech Tip. For this week's tech tip, I want to talk a little bit about LED lights. Most of the new bikes are going to come with LED lights right away, but this Dyna, my pride and joy, is a 2014 Street Bob, and that was before they put LEDs on everything. So first things first, put this very bright LED light on the front of Elvis. You can buy one of these at Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson, any other Harley-Davidson dealership. The other really cool thing that we discovered is this set of low profile lights that we put right on the crash bar. I hated the ugly standard turn signals that were on this bike, and I stripped them off, and for a while I didn't have any turn signals on the front at all. But these things not only act as nice, bright running lights, are low profile and not ugly, and when you turn the bike off you don't even see them, but they're also great turn signals. Very bright. They turn amber and white, and it's just low profile, sleek, beautiful, fits the style of the bike to a T. That's this week's tech tip.
Hey everybody, I'm down here at the wall for the Vietnam War Memorial Wall. Very famous. Show you it here. Really pretty. Just has all the names of all those lost. You know, one of the things about the Vietnam Wall that I've always found interesting is that it has a very close connection to bikers and motorcycles, and I've always wondered why. And as I started to represent the bikers, I got a better appreciation for it. And essentially, if you know our history, it makes sense. You know, after World War II, we were using motorcycles, and they came back, and those veterans, they were riding motorcycles. And there, of course, those guys were revered, right? It's World War II veterans. And then in Vietnam, they were riding motorcycles, and they came back, and for reasons that at this date I can now look back and say is ridiculous, you know, society took their anger out at those returning soldiers about the war. They took it out on them, and they became outcasts. And so those bikers started to band together because they were outcasts. Nobody really respected them, not like after World War II. And so bikers and gangs of bikers and groups of bikers, a lot of times were veterans, and they were Vietnam War veterans. You know, they did what they did, and they went to VFW halls, and they would go to memorials about the Vietnam War because that's how they sought association with each other. And so that's the relationship that combat veterans and veterans have with Vietnam, because they had to group together because our society, frankly, was treating them with disfavor. And so if you're ever wondering like why it is that bikers and the Vietnam War have such a close relationship, that's why. And you probably won't see that as much with the war in the Middle East, because most people have pretty high regard for veterans. But that's really why. That's the story. And so if you see a biker, you know, think twice about why you may have an opinion about them.
That's it for this episode of the Biker Dad Show from tropical Key West, Florida, the southernmost point in the United States, and mile marker 0. Thanks for watching. Please join us next time. And until next time, look twice for motorcycles.